Welcome back to the Coins Numismatic Series, where every coin tells a story, and sometimes, that story is worth far more than face value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating pieces from the U.S. State Quarter program, the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter. You might think it's just another quarter in your pocket change, but this coin has a story full of history, artistry, symbolism, and even a touch of rarity that makes collectors sit up and take notice. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly why this quarter can be so special, and what to look for if you happen to find one in fine condition. The year is 2006. The U.S. Mint is midway through its ambitious 50 state quarters program, which began in 1999 and would continue until 2008. Each coin in the series honors one of the 50 states, with a reverse design reflecting that state's unique heritage, culture, and history. Nebraska's turn came as part of the 2006 releases, and the design chosen to represent the Cornhusker state is nothing short of stunning. The reverse of the Nebraska quarter features one of the most iconic images in American frontier history, the Chimney Rock rising majestically in the background, and in the foreground, a covered wagon pulled by oxen making its way westward across the plains. Above, a brilliant depiction of the sun bursts outward, its rays symbolizing hope, progress, and the boundless promise of the American West. The design captures a moment frozen in time, the great westward expansion that defined so much of the nation's identity in the 19th century. Let's break down the design itself for a moment, because it's not just a random scene. Chimney Rock is a real geological formation located near Bayard, Nebraska. It rises nearly 300 feet above the surrounding plains, and during the mid-1800s, it served as a vital landmark for pioneers traveling along the Oregon Trail, the Mormon Trail, and the California Trail. Imagine those long, grueling journeys across uncharted territory, families, settlers, and dreamers all relying on natural landmarks like Chimney Rock to navigate their way west. Seeing that tall, distinctive spire meant they were still on the right path. It represented progress, perseverance, and a glimpse of hope amid hardship. Now, the wagon in the foreground, that's not just artistic filler either. The covered wagon, drawn by oxen rather than horses, was the backbone of westward migration. Oxen were slower but far sturdier and more reliable than horses for long, harsh journeys. The artist who designed the reverse, Charles L. Vickers, did a masterful job of portraying motion and determination within such a small canvas, a coin only 24.26 millimeters in diameter. The rays of the sun fan outward across the scene, almost touching the words, Nebraska 1867, the year the state joined the Union, and 2006, the year the coin was issued. At the bottom, the state motto appears, Chimney Rock. Simple, yet deeply evocative. Now, on to the mint mark, the D in 2006 D. That D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the two primary mints producing circulating quarters in the mid-2000s, the other being Philadelphia, which uses a P mint mark. The Denver Mint struck over 273 million Nebraska quarters in 2006, a massive number at first glance. But as any seasoned numismatist knows, not all quarters are created equal. While most Nebraska quarters are common, certain minting errors, die varieties, and condition factors can dramatically change their value. Collectors pay particular attention to Nebraska quarters with die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes. Even the alignment of the design and the crispness of the details, the oxen's yokes, the wagon's wheels, the lines of the chimney rock, can make the difference between a simple 25-cent coin and one worth several $100s or more. So let's talk about the 2006 Nebraska quarter in fine condition specifically. The fine grading refers to a coin that has seen moderate circulation but still retains most of its design elements clearly. The fields may be worn, and some finer details may have smoothed away from use, but the coin's overall design remains strong and recognizable. In numismatics, condition grading ranges from poor to mint state, with fine, very fine, extremely fine, and about uncirculated marking key steps along the way. A fine coin might not gleam like a mint state example, but it carries a rugged charm, a sense that it's lived a life, passed through countless hands, and still holds its story. Collectors often value fine condition coins not just for their potential monetary worth, but for their tangible connection to history. The wear patterns on a coin tell a story. Maybe it passed through countless Nebraska gas stations, diners, or schools. Maybe it traveled across the country, a little piece of state pride moving from pocket to pocket. When you hold a fine condition 2006 Nebraska State Quarter, you're holding both history and artistry, a blend that never truly loses its appeal. Now, let's touch on what makes some of these 2006 Nebraska quarters rare or valuable. One of the most notable varieties to watch for is the double die reverse, DDR. On these era coins, elements like the rays of the sun or the lettering may appear slightly doubled, the result of a die misalignment during the minting process. Such errors are not widespread, and when they do surface, especially in higher grades, collectors will pay a premium. Another interesting variety that sometimes appears is a die break, often referred to by collectors as a cut. These occur when a piece of the die itself breaks off during the striking process, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin's surface. If you find a Nebraska quarter with a small extra metal bump around the edges, it could be a minor die break, and that adds intrigue and potential value. Beyond varieties, even regular strike 2006 Nebraska quarters in mint condition can fetch respectable prices among collectors seeking pristine examples. While a fine condition example won't command the same premium, it still carries collectible value, especially for those assembling circulated sets of the full 50 State Quarter series. Let's take a step back and consider what this coin means beyond its numismatic value. The Nebraska quarter tells the story of human endurance, migration, and the pursuit of opportunity. It's a tribute to the pioneers who risked everything to build a life on the frontier, and it's a reminder of the American spirit of discovery. When you think about it, every design detail, the wagon wheels, the rays of the sun, the sturdy oxen, encapsulates an entire era of courage and expansion. It's also worth noting how the U.S. Mint managed to pack so much storytelling into such a small space. The State Quarters program revolutionized how Americans saw their pocket change. Suddenly, everyday coins became miniature works of art, educational, collectible, and deeply meaningful. The Nebraska quarter, with its vivid frontier imagery, stood out as one of the most beloved designs of 2006. Collectors today still prize it for its historical resonance and its beauty. And though the majority are common in circulation, a fine condition example that retains its sharp details, clear sun rays, distinct outlines of Chimney Rock, and legible inscriptions, is always worth holding on to. Now, here's something many collectors overlook. Even if your 2006 Nebraska quarter isn't a major rarity, it can still be a fantastic piece for trade, display, or a teaching tool. Many numismatists start young, and a coin like this, with its rich story and stunning imagery, can ignite a lifelong passion for collecting. If you're inspecting one of these coins at home, take a moment to examine it under good lighting. Look closely at the fields and the raised designs. Is there any doubling on the sun rays? Any cracks or die chips near the edges? Check the rim for any unusual metal flow lines or alignment issues. Even subtle irregularities can make your coin unique. And here's a fun fact. Although the Denver Mint produced the majority of Nebraska quarters, the quality of strikes varied from batch to batch. Some coins, especially those struck with newer dies early in production runs, show exceptional detail and luster. Others, struck later or with worn dies, can appear dull or mushy. This variation adds another layer of intrigue for collectors trying to find the best possible examples. Over time, the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter has become more than just part of a set, it's a snapshot of American history. From the settler's journey westward to the artistry of modern minting, it bridges the past and the present. Holding it in your hand connects you to those vast plains, those wagons creaking along dusty trails, and that towering rock formation pointing heavenward as a beacon of hope. So, if you happen to come across a Nebraska quarter, especially one with that little D mint mark from Denver, take a closer look. Even in fine condition, it's a beautiful piece to treasure. Whether it's worth a few dollars or just a deeper appreciation for American coinage, the real value lies in the story it carries. And that's what numismatics is all about, discovering the extraordinary within the ordinary, finding history hidden in the everyday, and preserving the stories each coin tells. If you enjoyed exploring the story of the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter, make sure to subscribe to Coins Numismatic Series and hit that notification bell, because next time, we'll uncover more hidden treasures from your pocket change, one coin at a time.